Hello, Jonas. How are you doing today?
I am doing very well.
Great. All right. Thank you very much for coming to our podcast. Viewers, welcome to our podcast. Today, we have a very important person that's going to throw more light how he built businesses. So, today's episode is about something every entrepreneur and leader is chasing. It's not just growth, but meaningful and sustainable success. It's about building business that isn't just about revenue. It's about people, it's about leadership, and ultimately, it's about impact. And today we are joined by someone who has lived that journey, Jonas Stoltzfus. He's the founder of Integro 212, an executive business coach who has helped companies rise to the forefront of their industries. Before that, he spent over 2 decades helping grow Country Lane Gazebos into eight-figure business, building teams, system, and a culture that empower people to thrive. Today, he works as CEO and entrepreneur to think bigger, lead better, and build businesses that create both result and purpose. Jonas, welcome to our podcast.
Thank you. Yes.
All right. So today, let me tell you the structure, how the podcast is going to go. It's going to go in three parts. So first of all, we get to know how you started your background and the industry you're seeing, and the trend you're seeing in the industry. We discuss your current challenge and the vision you want for Integro 212 for the next 12 months. And finally, we wrap up by exploring any necessary step if it makes sense. And of course, I always like to remind the viewer and also our guests it's not an interview, it's a conversation. So just feel free, relax, and it's going to take about, it's slated for between 30 and 45 minutes maximum. So it's
Okay.
about how much you want to share. And if there's anything you don't want to answer, that's fine. You're not obligated to answer anything or go to areas if you don't want to. All right. So today, let's start. Let's dive in. So my first question is about, how. My first one is, Jonas, you've helped grow Country Lane Gazebo into an eight-figure business for over 22 years. What were the defining decisions that made that level of growth possible?
What is one of the decisions that made that growth level possible at Country Lane
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Gazebos? Well, one of the largest decisions we've made was to get a business coach.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, he pressed into us and helped us to grow, pushed us to grow, gave us keys of how to grow and what to do. And so that
Mm-hmm.
was very impactful, very large. That was a very key decision in helping us to grow. And then beyond that, we've always had a growth mindset,
Mm-hmm.
the desire to grow. So as a group of owners, we wanted to grow. We were hungry to grow, and we were always looking for the next challenge and how to expand. And a third thing was that we maintained the path. And so we didn't get distracted after 3 years or after 5 years, or even after 10 years. We maintained the path. And one of our goals was to become like the best in the industry and to push out into areas that we weren't yet occupying with our products. And so it just was like get better and get better and then get better and then continue and get better. So we had this growth improvement mindset that ultimately took us on a path to become one of the leading companies in the industry.
Yeah, awesome. That kind of growth doesn't just happen. Usually requires leaders to evolve along the way. And I believe your leadership and your team, you guys evolve along the way. Okay. So looking back, what did you have to unlearn as a leader in order to grow both business and the people around you?
What do I have to unlearn
Yes, as a leader to grow
as a
both the
leader?
business and the people around.
Okay,
Yeah.
so one of the main things that every leader has to deal with is what got you here won't get you there. And so the
Yeah.
thing that you have done in working hard and doing a lot of things yourself and
Mm-hmm.
applying yourself in all of the areas where you just did everything. You can't
Mm-hmm.
keep doing everything if you're going to invite more people into to take it on. So the area of management versus leadership is what I'm observing here is to unlearn the thing of needing to be the one who makes all the decisions, and to recognize that other people can make decisions too, and to create a framework in which others can make decisions with or in, and then leading them instead of managing them. And so as a leader, when you want to grow an organization beyond yourself, you have to learn leadership skills and how to lead others and unlearn management. So the other angle of that is when you grow even beyond that, you have to lead leaders and develop leaders as well, rather than just lead managers. And so
Mm.
to even be able to get let go of some leadership yourself, to let others step in and for them to lead, and to be able to let others make decisions and choices that fit them and the company together, rather than always making the decisions that fit you the best.
Yeah, that's well said, and I agree with you perfectly. And I know that beyond business, leadership is often shaped by life outside the work. So, you've built a business and a family. How does fatherhood shape your leadership philosophy?
How does fatherhood shape my leadership philosophy?
Hmm.
Wow.
Absolutely,
Well,
yeah. Hmm.
fatherhood is a very interesting concept, and thank you for asking that question, because it makes it a little more personal to my personal life. Um,
Oh.
when you're raising children, when they're young, you have more control over what they do and what
Hmm.
they're allowed to do. And as they grow older, you have to release control, and you have to let them decide and make choices in where they want to go and what they want to do. And so it changes from having 100% control when they're small to having 0% control when they're grown. And it
Mm.
changes also in the area of influence, where you influence them more and control less. And so
Mm.
influence starts to be the way that you direct your child rather than control them. And so the journey from
Mm.
control to influence, as a child grows, I would say that has impacted my leadership in the area where you can't just control your leaders, and you can't control your managers, and you can't control your people, but you give them a path and create a framework in which they can function in, and then support them as they do that. So I've learned that in my fatherhood, as I raise children, to support them. And another angle to that is that each person is unique. Each person is different than the other one. And so the same with our children. We're all different. They're all different, and they take a different personality and a different communication approach, as I recognize what they need. And so as we lead a team in business, we have to recognize that everybody's a little different.
Yeah, that's well said. That's awesome.
Yes.
Okay, so you've helped companies reach the forefront of their industry. What's the biggest mistake you see entrepreneurs make when they're trying to scale?
Well, um, an entrepreneur can get ahead of himself, and they can take too big of a bite. And that's typical for entrepreneurs because they have vision,
Mm.
and oftentimes they can get ahead of their so for example, when you advance into new territory, you have to occupy that territory before you advance again. And so if you're an advancer or a visionary entrepreneur, you're going to want to advance into a new territory, and then you have to hold yourself back until you've occupied the territory that you've advanced into. And entrepreneurs that want to scale and grow may get ahead of themselves and advance further, have bigger um, they have bigger ideas and maybe take too big of a bite, start too many new things before they've like really mastered the one thing that they should have mastered, which will fuel their growth for the future for their new thing. Starting too many new things, stepping into something bigger too quickly could be one of the things that I see entrepreneurs doing rather than building for margin. For example, if you build well and you wait to grow the next phase until you have financial margin and you have a great culture and you have a team developed in order to take on new territory. So entrepreneurs typically tend to take on that territory before they're quite ready or before they have enough of margin financially. And so I see them later struggling if they if they took too big of a bite and they didn't calculate for a downturn in the economy, and then they suffer and hurt because the business landscape has changed and they have taken this big step because everything was going great, and now all of a sudden it's much harder. And so if they would not have taken such a big step, they would actually be in a better financial position.
Awesome. That's well said.
Yes.
Yeah. Many founders struggle to move from operator to a leader. What mindset shift is required to make that transition successfully?
What mindset needs shifted to make that
From
transition
operator to a leader,
successfully?
yeah, what mindset need?
Well, I like to think of the coach approach. For example, the director approach tells people what to do, and the coach approach will still make clear what we're trying to accomplish.
Mhm.
But instead of telling people every day what to do, you simply help create the vision and the objective and help make that clear so that everybody understands where we're going and what needs done. And then you take the coach approach for them rather than the director approach and tell them, I'm still going to tell you what to do. And so the mindset shift has to be um, uh, making sure that things are clear. There's clarity is a big mindset shift, and then supporting the people that you have put in charge to lead.
Mm.
So I would say that rather than the manager approach or the hands-on person may not have to tell everybody ahead of time the objective. They may not have to have clarity before you start.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the lead people, you want clarity first, make the objective clear and the outcomes clear, and then let the next person own that rather than you being the only one to own it.
Yeah,
And so you have to let somebody else own it
yeah,
and be okay with if they don't do it your way, or be okay if there are some mistakes and you help the learning process
mm-hmm.
um, and allowing people to learn through doing rather than you protecting everything and you have to get your hand off of it
Yeah.
and allow other people to have the space to make decisions within the objective.
Awesome. That's well said.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, that's nice. So you've built sales teams, production system, HR programs. What are the non-negotiables of a scalable business?
Well, the non-negotiables of a scalable business. So um, that's a deeper question because depends what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say that a lot of teams fail in the area of accountability. And
Mm-hmm.
so when you're scaling your business and you're growing, um, to maintain connection and accountability and regular meeting rhythms,
Mm-hmm.
if you're scaling and growing and you don't have accountability, and you abdicate, you just hand stuff off and you don't train and equip people well, so then it isn't going to pan out well. And so I would say that when you're scaling, you want to maintain connection to what's happening, but you want to do it through accountability and regular meeting rhythms and proper connection to the things that are going.
Mm-hmm.
If you just get your hand off of it too quickly or you don't stay engaged, it may crash.
Yeah.
You may grow it in a way that you're not happy with and cause greater problems for you.
Yeah. Well said. Thank you very much. So again, At what point should a company start focusing on system and automation? And how do they avoid overcomplicating it?
So that I understand the question, at what point should a company
Start focusing on
start focusing on
system
systems
and
and
automation.
automation?
Yes.
Okay, well, um, probably before you scale, before you take too big of a bite.
Mm-hmm.
If you take the big bite and you scale, you create a new department, you create a new facility or new area, and you don't have the system and the automations in place, and you start setting up uh, new facilities or new plants or new offices, and you don't actually have the thing already automated and working and well defined,
Mm-hmm.
then you're just going to create a bigger chaos for yourself, like greater chaos for your team.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would say, uh, figure out some of the core. Well, there's two or three things. One is your organizational structure, having clarity in the structure,
Mm-hmm.
and having clarity for each person and their role and their responsibilities. That's one, and then the other is creating the operation procedures or the standard, the SOPs for the different tasks and projects that you have. Creating that
Mm-hmm.
before you scale. As you create structure and processes, then once those are created, you're more prepared to scale. And if you bring in automations along the way, you bring in automations, that really then opens up the door for you to scale. And if you try to scale or let your business get ahead of you before you have those things in place, it can really create a lot of unnecessary problems, unnecessary friction, or challenges in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And you're putting out fires and doing things that are cleaning up messes rather than having the whole thing flowing smoothly and then prepare to scale.
Yeah. So with this era of AI, at what point will you um advise company to start focusing in AI automation if ever is something you believe in? Because I don't want to put it on you.
When would I recommend companies to start investing in automations
No,
or
AI automations.
AI automations?
Mm-hmm.
Well, um, I currently recommend people to learn AI programs and to continuously learn and not to hold off on your own learning. So I recommend to start something, try something, continue to research and develop,
Mm-hmm.
and bring in an AI automation and try it, put it in place. And if you don't like it, then you can switch and change to something different. But you should always be learning and developing something and putting something into place.
Yeah.
If you don't if you don't continue advancing or trying or looking for improvements, then you'll stay stuck at when everybody else is moving on,
Yeah.
and you're still going to stay stuck without knowing. So I recommend do something with it.
Yeah.
Continue to do something with and continue building.
Yeah. At this point, if I ask you, have you automated any part of your business with AI yet?
Currently, we're using AI mainly for note taking, for brainstorming,
Okay.
for information. We're using the main AI tools for that. We have not automated
Processes.
processes with AI.
All right. All right. Awesome. Well said. Okay, let's go to the next question. We're talking about your coaching and transformation. As a coach, you're working closely with a leader during pivotal moment. What is the first thing you look for when when you start working with a new CEO or a leader?
When I first start walking with that leader,
What are the first thing you look
uh,
out for?
what are the first things I'm looking for?
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for where there are stresses and where there's pressure, where there's chaos, where there's frustration.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for things that are not yet built or not yet implemented,
Yeah.
right? Uh, c- um, in a leader's company or their organization. Typically, I look for structural errors, structural areas that are not yet built. I may look for culture that is not healthy. May look at how people function. Um, Usually, whatever's breaking down first, we look at repairing whatever's broken, and then we build some things that enable the company to grow. So we look at some of those things that we work on, whether it's leadership, whether it's culture, whether it's teamwork, and then the next is culture, structure, and organization.
Awesome.
One of the things that we look at three angles or three different lenses. One is organizational health, and that has to do with clarity and vision and purpose and core values and clarity and team dynamics and leadership and culture. So we value that really highly when it comes to teams. And then the other is strategic insights or strategic planning, whether it's looking at marketing and sales and how to put your product out there where you can advance and take territory. And then third, there's also financials
Mm.
to make sure that there's financial literacy and financial uh, planning and strategic plans financially. And then there's another dimension that we bring with us because we're a Christian business. We invite the understanding of who God is and create spaces where the presence of God is welcomed and people can develop in such an environment.
Yeah, I really like that. I'm gonna come to that point later. Okay, what's one breakthrough you consistently see in that changes everything in your client?
The breakthrough that changes everything in the client.
Mm.
Well, it's not always the same.
Mm.
We have a lot of different skills and different talents and different areas of breakdown. I would put a lot of emphasis on a person developing his leadership and being able to lead a team. Most of the companies we work with, people are a big deal,
Yeah.
and it's usually if there is a healthy company and the people are enjoying their workplace and they enjoy the culture, there's a certain amount of creativity and strategy that those people already have within themselves that
Mm.
can be applied to developing their company moving forward. So I would say a lot of it has to do with leadership and organizational health and structure.
Mm-hmm.
That is um, most companies' keys to breakthrough. And that takes a while to build. That's usually not just a quick implementation of a program. It's usually a process to create clarity and a process to develop teams. I've seen what holds a lot of companies back is the ability to either recruit good, solid leaders or to develop them from within. And typically, when a company doesn't have a leaders inside their company that can take them to the next level, they're going to stay there in that same place until they bring leaders or train their leaders up.
Yeah.
That's usually what I see.
Yeah, that's great.
Yep.
Yeah, that's great. So again, a unique part of your work is the integration of your faith and business. How
Yep.
do you help leaders align business success with their higher purpose?
Well, it comes with an awareness that there is a higher purpose. It comes with awareness that uh, a business can be used to honor God, and that a business and making money is not a necessary evil. It's
Mm.
actually something that needs to happen, and it's okay to create and generate wealth, and that it's in God's best interest for you to generate and create wealth and use it wisely and steward it for His glory, rather than to create it for selfish gains and put it to places where He's not glorified or highlighted. So when a leader's heart is open to uh, communing with God and connecting with God, then God will make His purposes more clear with that person.
Yeah.
And so, if a person is closed from that, then he may not want anything to do with God. Then that's more difficult when somebody doesn't already acknowledge their Maker.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree with you
yeah.
completely. Okay, you talk about creating culture of blessing. What does that culture looks like inside a company day to day?
Creating a culture of blessing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it looks like caring about. It looks like caring about each other. It looks about being considerate
Mm-hmm.
for what your fellow workers may be going through.
Mm-hmm.
It may mean you um, you honor and respect goes a long way, but then also to care about deeply, sincerely care about each other. And so we've implemented this in our company. We implement it in other companies where everybody gets a one-on-one every week. And so the leader of the team gives each one of his team players some one-on-one time every week. Could be a half an hour to an hour or so. And by being able to do that, the whole team stays connected and cared for,
Yeah.
and it creates a culture of like belonging and um, people feel known
Yeah.
and people feel cared for when we invest in them and spend time in helping them to whether it's work through a challenge or helping them to create their own goals or helping them to grow themselves and work with them in creating personal growth goals,
Mm-hmm.
and understanding what motivates each team member and what's important to them is very powerful in growing a team culture to a
Yeah.
healthy place.
Yeah, that's very good, and I like that. So let's zoom out and talk about vision. You often talk about thinking big. What holds most people back from pursuing their full potential?
Well, sometimes it's their own mindset that holds them back, like a limited belief. I have coached some people that have no limiting belief, like the sky's the limit. And they're really fun to coach and they go further than the average person because their mind is open and they're willing to go from one level of business to the next, to the next, to the next. And they're saying the sky's the limit. We'll just keep growing it.
Yeah.
While other people have limiting beliefs that say, well, that's not possible. Um, or they might say that this is when you get a big company, it's going to be too chaotic. They have limiting beliefs, believing that they're even capable of leading something beyond themselves or beyond their little team.
Mm-hmm.
And so this blocks their. And some people don't want to. Some people don't want to grow a bigger business, and that's okay.
Mm.
We will help them. Uh, we will help them to enjoy the smaller business that they currently have.
Yeah.
And some people's goal is uh, just simply to have their business well oiled, functioning well, and enjoyable for everybody that's there. And they say we don't want to grow big.
Yeah.
And so I would think that's okay. But some limiting beliefs that I see in people are, for example, the mindset that um, they can't make a lot of money or they shouldn't be allowed to make money, and that they have a either a victim mindset or a pauper mindset, or they might have a mindset that like they might even have a poverty mindset, like an inner belief system uh, that they can't, or
Yeah.
inner belief system that typically drives a person that's in poverty, and that's how they think. And so you have to break those mindsets in order to be able to grow and be okay with growth.
Awesome. So
Yep.
what does success look like to you today compared 10 years or 20 years ago?
Well, success to me looks like when um, leaders have margin in their life.
Mm-hmm.
For example, they have extra time. They have time to spend with their family. Uh, that time is valued if they have a family, or they have financial margin where they're not so tight financially that they can't invest into their future or give or invest in others. I look at leaders who have knowledge in how to lead themselves and how to lead others, and the environment is really a enjoyable environment. People are attracted to it. People want to come and be in your company. They want to come to your store or to
Mm.
your business to buy. And when you're having that, and plus you're generating profits on top of the services that you offer,
Mm.
um, that's what I see as success.
Mm.
I see when people are inspired and living in uh, their genius zone or their place of joy, place of inspiration. When there's uh, life giving inspiration in the workplace,
Yeah.
I think those are areas of success. I think I've had that for the last 10 to 20 years too. But um, I like to see when people are enjoying what they're building, and so many people are in the building stage,
Yeah.
like leaders who love to build, and they're building the programs, and they're building their systems, and they're building their people, and
Mm.
they're taking territory, and they're growing, and they're developing, and they're excited about it, and it's joyful, and you enter into that, and they've just mastered their game. Like,
Yeah.
they just make you feel amazing because they have given it the thought that it needed to be able to give their client great experiences,
Yeah. Okay.
and they just have a really plus financially successful in the midst of that.
Yeah. I agree completely.
Yep.
Yeah. So, what is working well for you right now at Integro 212, and what has been frustrating?
I'm sorry, I didn't
I said,
quite capture the
what
question.
is working well for you right now, and what has been frustrating?
Oh, what is working well for us at Integro 212,
Yes.
and what is frustrating for us?
Absolutely.
Oh, wow. Okay, so what is working very well? We have a lot of successful clients. Now, we have a lot of people who appreciate what we bring to them.
Mm-hmm.
And when we sign up a new coaching client and we've coached them for a year or two, and they can just enjoy what we've done together, that is working really well. Our coaching clients. Another one that's working really well is our marketing. We have a unique approach in where we will provide a marketing person to work within your company and to do marketing with you and for you. And so that is working really well. So the things that are more frustrating is probably more the thing of I have to think about what's a bit frustrating. I'm thinking in our sometimes what's frustrating is the slowness of our own growth,
Okay.
right? So for me, I'd like to see some of our growth go faster. But on the other hand, I also recognize we have to occupy well, and we have to develop our own processes and our own systems well before we really grow.
Yeah.
But we are working on those, and growth, as much as is good growth. We really grew fast for the first couple of years, but we grew too fast, and so we pulled back from growing new things, and so and now it doesn't feel like it's growing fast enough for me.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, it's better that that we grow more solid,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
we have our processes together.
All right. So how do you currently measure success in your company? In your
How do
company?
we measure
Yeah.
success? Okay. So there's different metrics, and we will when we look at success. We look at success if we can help somebody to grow and develop and become better in their company, to
Okay.
become more um, uh, more matured in their leadership in their company. We also look at success if we're financially, if we financially have margin and we've produced financial profitability,
Mm-hmm.
and things are working well financially.
Yeah.
We also look at success from the angle of, do we have a good culture? Are our people enjoying our teams, and are they enjoying the work? So I would say it's multiple
Yeah.
things in which we measure success in.
Well, that's very great. So where do you want Integral 212 to be in the next 6-12 months?
Where do we want them to be?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we want to continue to grow. We typically, I think about 20 to 25% um, plus growth
Mm-hmm.
is what we like to see, and that we master the things we're currently doing.
Okay.
We're currently We have a team of coaches, and we're always looking to improve ourselves as coaches. We have a marketing team that does marketing for people, building website, doing SEO work, and building out our clients' marketing. And so each one of those that we have a clean books, we have a bookkeeping team that helps people do their books, do their payroll, and do their reconciliations and their monthly, quarterly, and annual cleanups. And so we're simply looking at growing each one of those sections.
Okay, awesome.
Yep.
Okay, well, I think you've answered the next question. I want to ask you, are there any specific KPIs you're tracking?
What for KPIs do we have for the tracking?
Yeah.
Yeah. So our budgeting, our financials, we track those. That we can budget for the year, and that we're tracking the financials along the way,
Yeah.
and that we maintain a healthy profit margin, and we maintain the path in which um, we have predicted. So that is one path that we're tracking. Another thing we're looking to track as a coaching team for us as coaches is we look at client the life cycle of a client, client retention,
Yeah.
and how long we actually serve a client. So we're tracking that.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're also wanting to implement more, where we look at see how much can we actually help a client grow,
Yeah.
and what is the metrics in which our client should grow, whether it's financially or whether it's their culture or whether it's their maturity within their company to mature their processes and systems.
Yeah.
And so those are some things we want to start measuring and tracking.
Awesome. That's very good. So if you have a magic wand to fix just one thing in Integro 212, sorry, that is holding you back or slowing you down, what would that one thing be?
Wow, that's a good question. To put out the one thing that's holding us back.
Yeah.
Well, I would think that there are some areas of growth that we'd like to see happen that we don't yet have the structure in place or the systems in place where we can really grow our teams. For example, each one of our teams has a different measure of challenges that are holding them back. For example, I'll look at our team, the coaching team.
Mm-hmm.
What is holding us back? Um, we have capacity to coach way more and way beyond than what we currently have leads and clients for, and so I would say is the volume of clients
Okay.
would be one of the major things that's holding our team back.
Awesome. Okay. Okay. That's and how do you plan to improve on that? Make sure you get more clients to work. I mean, at least to be able to feed your qualified coaches out there. Kind of. Yeah.
It's one of the coach's biggest challenges. What I've seen across the coaching industry is to get in front of enough of clients and fill the portfolio of clients that a coach would like to have. And so one of those what what's holding? Can you reframe the question again? What are we doing, or what are we
Yeah.
not
Yes.
doing?
What are you doing to make sure that you have enough clients for your coaches to work with?
Well, we're offering some like free coaching videos that we offer to the general public to learn to have some free coaching. We just created a new mini course that we're going to be rolling out here in the next few weeks.
Okay.
A mini course in how to make your business less dependent on you,
Okay.
which is going to be a fun little course for people. We're going to see that thing as many people need to. Many of our people will need to have that type of a course, and so those are some things we're doing, um, giving away some of our uh, expertise
Okay.
to help businesses to grow and to get to know us.
Okay. That's nice. But one thing I also ask is sometimes businesses like you, they have they have the stuff to give, but if it's not landing to the decision makers, it's not going to make much impact. You know what I mean?
That's
Yeah,
right.
so that's the point.
Right
And
side.
again, do you have any idea or you have any way of making sure that the people in power in decision making position have access to all those tips or all those your offerings?
They have access for sure. Whether we're in front of them
Mm-hmm.
is the next question. Are we in front of them? Do they observe or see what we have? Is definitely a part of the game. Getting in front of the right people.
Yeah,
I would like to say yes, we do get in front of the right people. We have been getting in front of the right people. It's kind of an art. Marketing and advertising is an art. It's a continued learning and growing um, within our current business environment and our digital world.
yeah,
It can be a growing and a learning continuously in
yeah,
how to find the ideal client and know where they live and where they hang out.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, okay. And if that process works for you, what does it unlock for Integral 212? Yeah. For your company. Let me put it that way.
What would unlock
Absolutely. That's the question.
some things for our company?
Mm-hmm.
Well, um, there are some really cool marketing technologies that are being invented and designed every year.
Mm.
The industry and the marketing industry is continuing to evolve and change.
Yeah.
And so I'm aware of AI tools that can do a lot of this work for you,
Okay.
and some of the things that to embrace them
Mm-hmm.
and to use them to find the right kind of people
Yeah.
can be an art and a skill in itself,
Yeah.
and then to develop the funnel
Yeah.
to bring people into
Mm-hmm.
as you get to know them. So I would say that would be something beautiful. That would be an unlocking thing that we would enjoy having.
Yeah. Are you investing in it already? Are you doing it already?
I have I have I'm I don't want to say I'm aware of some of the marketing techniques
Okay.
and tools that people are using with AI,
Mm-hmm.
such as scratching or reaping the email addresses from LinkedIn, or whether it's from other sources where you get contacts and
Mm.
you send out uh, massive email blasts
Yeah.
and invite people into something that you have. So I'm familiar with that. We're hesitant to use that one at scale simply because some of the some of the I would say some of the ethics that are connected to that, some of the ethics that are not connected to that,
Mm-hmm.
and so we're hesitant about what kind of techniques we use,
Okay.
whether they're ethical or not ethical. So we want to maintain our position as an ethical company
Okay.
in how we market and how we present ourselves, and so that may be something that something we're navigating through. What's the ethical way of using AI for people and how to connect with them?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank, thank you very much, Jonas. It's been a very incredible, powerful discussion conversation with you. I think one of the biggest takeaway from me is the real growth isn't just about scaling revenue. It's about scaling leadership, relationship, and purpose, and of course your faith. You know, because at the end of the day, what is about building businesses that, with leaders who can think bigger and make impact in the life of their community and, of course, the people they work with. So I really want to say thank you and I appreciate your time and the insight you've shared today is really eye opening and I'm very grateful you made it to our podcast. Thank you very much.
Yes, you're welcome.
Yeah,
This was an honor to be on your show
yeah.
and to be on this podcast with you.